What's happening in the rental market? Rental market is going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Prices, I don't know, it's fair to say doubled or even more than that. And we are seeing a major issue happening in the land department. Like for the past 2 weeks, I've got almost 10 tenants wanting to file cases on landlords, which I accommodated, of course. I help in this field. So basically, landlords, what they are doing, they are sending eviction notice to their tenants by saying we want to sell the property, and once the tenant is out, they are leasing it on a very much higher price. What's going on? How
Okay.
can we control this? How can we absorb what's happening?
Okay, again, we have seen this trend go up a lot in the last couple of months. You're right about that. So I think even from the government side, it's not that they're not aware that this is happening because, like you said, people are going in there and they are registering cases. So the land department, I'm sure, is on top of it. They'll definitely come up with something where probably they might put a limit or something saying that even as a landlord, if you issue a notice like this, RIRA would given us probably be able to put a stay on it and say by law the tenant by right has got that 1 year which you have to give him, and they probably will need to enforce that a bit firmly right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's the only thing that can be done because even if a tenant, landlord were to go to court, I think with a RIRA backing the tenant, it should help the tenant get through that 1 year. I understand why some landlords are doing it because when you have a 30% jump in rents in some particular areas, 46%, ridiculous. But when that's happening, you see, honey always attracts flies.
Yeah.
Just like you have unethical brokers or even buyers and sellers, you'll have landlords who will get into that mind space where this is a quick opportunity. Let me grab the money.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, like, I'll tell you something. We want to see it on the two sides. So, first of all, as an investor, they came invested into this property before they were not doing peanuts. And suddenly, because of massive relocation for multiple nationalities in Dubai, such as Russians and Ukrainians, made the prices fly out. Now they want to be following the market price. They are not asking something over a price. However, following the RIRA calculator, they are not entitled to do any increase. And if they are entitled, they can do 5%, which is nothing.
The 5% is fine. No one has an issue with the 5%.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, like, but let's, for example, I have a unit. I'm renting it for 60, but today the market is 95.
Yeah, the
Okay?
market is 95. Again, like you said, when a building is just handed over or a villa is just handed over, the client can come in. It's my villa. I can ask for 200,000. I just won't find anybody. So I'm allowed to come in. But I think what happens is there is a cap in that particular area. So unfortunately, if I'm going to keep it very highly priced, there's a possibility also that I will discourage anyone who wants to rent to come to me. And over time, if they continue to do this, I think that impact will also happen because they need to understand that if they're not renting out, they're not making any money. You can ask for those wonderful high amounts, but until someone actually gives you a check for that, you're sitting there on zero cash. And so that will probably tend to happen more and more because people, when they don't have proportionate increases in their salaries and they still have got all other commitments that they have to keep, will be left with a no choice in this situation because I don't have the money to be able to meet that higher amount. They'll start moving into the JVTs, the JVCs, they'll go
Even
into
those are not affordable anymore.
it's
Doctor, I
still
have
better.
a unit in JVC,
Yeah.
a one bedroom, which I've rented for 110,000. And go back 2 years or 3 years back, the best unit in JVC, the best one bedroom would have gone for 50 or
Yeah,
60.
no. So what you'll see happening now is it's the same thing that happened if you look at some of the major city like London. Okay, because of the zones, the most expensive being zone one,
Yeah.
people start to move outwards. They shift outwards. So the people who were on a Palm Jumeirah will probably start moving into a Dubai Marina. People who are in a Dubai Marina will probably cross over into a JLT. The JLT guys will probably cross over into the
Further
JVC.
away from the
They will
center.
go further away. So landlords need to also be careful that what's going to happen is other areas that are popular but not very attractive will now become attractive simply because I don't have the money. So prices will go up in those areas also, but I cannot pay what I was paying previously in Dubai Marina. So, but I can still manage a JLT. So this is what will happen out there. And because people are looking there, obviously the prices are going up there as well. But you will see this outward move, which is the reason why if you look at any of the top cities, look at Mumbai, look at Toronto, you can look at New York, you could look at London, you will find people go more for suburb living, where they go out of the cities completely, and very, very few people will be staying really in the city. That's probably what's going to happen if it continues like this.
I think the bigger unit you want, the further out you have to be.
It's not just the unit size. Unit sizes, yes, probably you will get
Yeah.
bigger ones there, but I think it's just the price per square foot that you're going to pay even in terms of rentals.
Correct.
So now I'd rather go out there and do it. Plus, what's happening now, because of Sheikh Mohammed's D33 agenda, Dubai has become extremely attractive. Sheikh Hamdan had mentioned it last year. He said, we want to become the talent magnet to the world. That only means more and more people coming in. Now, when you talk talent magnets, you're not talking of another secretary coming in, or we already have those. It's the AI, artificial intelligence, it's gaming technology, which we will talk maybe later about that. It is the casinos creating the jobs coming in. It is we have the first digital free zone in Fujairah, in Ras Al Khaimah. But all of these are new industries opening up with new job creations. So we're talking of people who will come into industries where salaries will be quite attractive. These are people who will have families here, and they will definitely want to be renting out individual homes, not these bed spaces or sharing accommodation. So because we're attracting people in, safety here, tax friendly, still not tax free, but tax friendly, quality of lifestyle is excellent. Business infrastructure is fantastic. We've got the financial infrastructures, judicial infrastructure. Everything is really, really attractive in Dubai. That's why we are number 3 on the top 10 power cities list. So when you have all of this, it's only natural people want to come into this city because they can see the future with the doubling of the economy. And all of that is putting the strain on the system, which is actually the reason why there's going to be a shortage of houses every year for the next 10 years.
So, following what you just said of the shortage, does it mean that the rents will keep increasing as long as there is still this crazy demand?
Rents will keep increasing. But what will happen now is a lot of people will sit down. You see, people who had the potential to buy a home, they could have taken a mortgage. They might have had to do a little bit of an adjustment, but they were still in a position to do that. They just weren't doing it. They never felt the serious need to do it. You know, people are like that. I'd rather spend that little bit and rent rather than going for this massive commitment. But now, because of the way the rents have been going up, and it's going to keep going up as the demand for people is there, a lot more people will start thinking of owning. A lot more people. So what will happen with that is the potential to resell goes up, the price will go up for that, but people would rather pay that higher price one time, buy it for themselves. They will recover that in 2 years' rent, so to speak, yeah, that extra in the price, rather than continue to rent, because that is taking a lot of money out of their pocket every year and they have nothing to show for it.
For lots of people, it's becoming that the accommodation is costing them over 70% of their income.
Yeah, so what would you do in such a situation? Let me buy my own. I'd rather buy it now instead of paying 70% every month for the next 5 years. And at the end of 5 years, what do I have? Zero. I've helped my landlord pay his mortgage,
And
or
grow his portfolio.
or I have simply, exactly. So what I'm doing now, so people who may have been thinking I should buy but never took it seriously are becoming super serious now about picking up the property.
You are listening to Take Charge podcast, hosted by
Anthony Joseph.